Good evening, friends. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Franky, and this is the Think Tank. So, I don't know, I've been seeing this floating around for a little while, and I thought maybe we should talk about it. Oh my goodness. So, it does seem like women are sending Bryan Kohberger love, money, best wishes, and I don't understand it. So I'm going to go through this with you and let me know your thoughts. Idaho unaliving suspect Bryan Kohberger has a small but active following amongst sympathetic social media users. I am not one of them. There are a handful of social media groups sympathetic to Kohberger who is accused of unaliving 4 University of Idaho students. He could face the unaliving penalty if he's convicted. There's Justice for Bryan Kohberger on Facebook with 3,000 members. Just created, what does it say here? A few days after his arrest. There's a Bryan Nation on Reddit with a thread titled, "What was it about Bryan that got your liking?" And r/Bryan Kohberger was another thread titled, "Why Bryan Kohberger is not guilty." There's a Facebook user who says she is a single mom from Kentucky and has penned dozens of love notes describing Hurl, the suspect, as her divine masculine. I'm sorry. That's a little nauseating. On the other hand, police in Moscow, Idaho, accuse him of stalking the King Road home at least a dozen times before entering in the dark of night and unaliving 4 students: Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Goncalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. There are also tales from women who met him face to face, saying he was extremely awkward, creepy. A TikToker from his home state of Pennsylvania said she had to pretend to puke to get him to leave after an awkward movie date. I remember hearing that. And 2 Idaho students claimed in an interview with People that Kohberger often went to their student union building, despite the fact that he did not attend that school, and they said that he had a staring problem. There's just something so magnetic about Bryan. One frequent pro-Kohberger Reddit commenter told Fox Digital News, "If he really did creep women out, I don't know how or why. If he stared at me intensely, I would have walked right over to him." I wouldn't be surprised if the odd person really did. So, Ethan and Xana, Kaylee, Maddie, D, and M. She identified herself as Jane Doe and chose not to speak on the phone. Her Reddit profile shows her account was created exactly a month after Kohberger's arrest, and she said she wasn't trolling when she posted about liking Kohberger. She said she first saw his mugshot and thought he was a hot suspect. She said she felt drawn to his pictures as coverage progressed and eventually turned to Google to find people similarly minded. I'm a psychopath and I'm drawn to dark personalities, she claimed. In any of the information that has come out about him is true, it would be part. This would be part of it for me. Oh, my word. Okay, I'm not see. Let's see here. If this kicks in pretty quick, we'll watch it. If not, we'll just carry on. Wow. I don't have much else to say, but
create videos. No, super videos. With a
so we expect justice made. We know D posting out he will why criminals they do so we want that new person in life. I want who knew him past worked with the time. Rich, what can you tell me about the suspect? What was he like?
He was just your average guy. I met him through some friends, and they told me that he was a little weird, and he was a little socially awkward, I guess you could say. But he wasn't a bad guy. He needed a job, so I worked at a pizza shop at that time, and they were hiring. I said, "Yeah, come on in and apply," and he did, and he got the job. So I worked with him for a little bit, but he was quiet though.
What
he
was
didn't ever come off
like
violent
with him?
What was that?
What was conversation like with him? Like when you talked with him at work, would he look you in your eyes? Did he have friends? Did he have a girlfriend at the time?
It was so long ago. It was like 2013, but he didn't have a girlfriend. I do remember that. And my wife went to school with him. They graduated together, and she doesn't remember him ever having a girlfriend, and I don't remember him ever having a girlfriend. And he didn't have many friends, so he would do anything to fit in, and would do he just wanted to be liked by everybody. But he wasn't a bad kid. He was all right. And I knew his sister. I went to school with his sister, and I knew his father worked for the school, and I believe his mother did too. But his family, they were all nice people, and his dad was always really nice to me, very polite. But I never thought that he would do something like that.
Good copy. So we've heard from some people that surrounded him that there may have been drug use in his life prior as well. Did you know him to use drugs or anything like that, sir?
Yeah, he did use drugs. That's how I really know him too. He was a big heroin addict, and so was I. I got 6 years clean now. I work in treatment and everything, but back then I was using, and so that's how I know for a fact he was using. I've got high with him a couple times and used with him, and I remember one night we went out and his car broke down, and his dad had to come out, and he got pretty angry because his car broke down and everything, and we couldn't get what we needed that night. And I knew other people that dealt drugs, and we would deliver drugs to him a lot. And so that's when I heard about this case. I haven't heard from him in so long. And then I heard about this, and it said that he was going to college. I said, I haven't heard from him. I guess that's what he's been doing. He must have cleaned up. I know he was in and out of rehab a couple times, but he really did. He cleaned up and was going to college all these years.
Rich, I'm short on time, but I got to ask you one last question. We've heard from people that he had a track record of being inappropriate, borderline offensive to women. Did you ever see that in any of your interactions with him and interactions with women?
Not in my.
It's funny how people see two different sides of others many times. They'll show one side to this group of people and another side to this group of people. And they can go a whole lifetime without showing either side.
My time knowing him, I've never seen him ever act like that towards women. I've never seen him come off that way ever towards anybody.
Yeah. Rich, thank you so much for joining the program. I'm sorry I'm short on time.
You're
Hopefully
welcome.
you'll come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, he was creeping women out, and I have no doubt about that. Let me get back into that. Distant admirer. Card Martha. Okay, so it says Bryan Kohberger has a small but active following among sympathetic social media users. Justice for Bryan Kohberger. Facebook had 8,000 members, and we know that they were saying it was just created a few days after his arrest. Okay, let's see here. On the other hand, police in Moscow, Idaho, accuse him of stalking the King Road home at least a dozen times before entering. Okay, we've gone through some of this. Gone through most of this. I got a little sidetracked. Jane Doe. There we are. She also said she has hybristophilia, a condition the American Psychological Association defines as sexual interest and in the attraction to those who commit crimes. In some cases, this could be directed towards people in prison and various types of criminals. It's very rare, according to the profiler and psychotherapist John Kelly. Says, I got to tell you, 26 years in private practice, 4 years in the hospital, I never came across it. Neither have my colleagues or professional friends. I think there's some people yanking our chain just to get a couple of minutes of fame, but I also do know for sure that the mail that Ted Bundy used to get, the love letters for Charles Manson, oh my word. Well, I hardly recognized Charlie there. So the appeal of a hybristophilia type attraction can be the long distance, he said, and relatively safe, even if there's been violent crimes because they are generally incarcerated. Kohberger, who is 28, is being held without bail at the Latah County Jail in Moscow, Idaho, the same town where he allegedly snuck into that house in the middle of the night and attacked those kids. An attempt to contact Kohberger over the jail messaging app, what the hell, was unsuccessful Tuesday. It seems that he does not have permission to view messages. But another Reddit post on February 13th screenshot claiming she had sent him $50 for the jailhouse messaging app as an early Valentine's gift. Kohberger, who is reported as a recovering heroin addict with socially awkward tendencies, has a master's degree in criminal justice from DeSales University and was studying for his PhD at Washington State Uni, just 10 miles from where the kids were going to university. Prior to the attack, police alleged that Kohberger stalked that house again around a dozen times. He was arrested at his parents' house in the Poconos on December 30th, and as we know, is back in court on June 26th. So this is a fair amount of time to get a lot of, I guess, what would you say, gossip and rumors started. So a person's got to kind of be careful as to what they're putting out there right now. So as we remember, Kohberger did state that he is looking forward to being exonerated. We know that his defense attorney, Ann Taylor, who I might add, you tell me, where do you hear of a $200 an hour defense attorney who is being supplied by the state? And as I've heard, $180 allegedly for her for the people working under her. I don't know what they're called at this point. This is just frustrating to me. Literally, this attorney, let's see, it might even, here we are. She has not responded to multiple requests for comment, and along with prosecutors, investigators, and attorneys for the victims' families, is subject to a restrictive gag order, which has been, okay, it is being appealed by the Goncalves family. So what I was going to say about this public defender is she stopped working for two of the kids' parents that had ran into trouble. One was Maddie Mogan's dad, and one was Zaina Kernadal's mom. So somehow she's managed to continue to get a $200 an hour fee and paid by that local area. Let me know what you think of that down below as well. I'm finding a lot of the things that I'm learning about this case fairly disturbing, to be honest with you. I don't know how someone that has committed these kind of crimes are able to get a lawyer that is that good of a lawyer. Most people get the $25, $50 an hour, I don't know, the minimum for their lawyers. And somehow this guy has managed to get one of the top ones in the state. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. And what do you think about these love letters? I don't get it. I don't get it. We know he's a sick shit, and yet he's probably getting the attention that he's been wanting. So on that note, friends, thanks again for being here with me. I just wanted to toss that out. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. It has been picking at me. So, like I said, let me know down below what your thoughts are, and I'll absolutely see you in the next one. Bye.